Podcast is live.
And we're
All right.
live.
Yeah, we are. We
Hey,
are. But
everybody.
why are you saying hey everybody to them? You gotta still talk to us, man. It's not time yet. We're just giving them a
Y'all
little
not here.
I'm
before the
looking at the
behind.
words live. I'm looking at the words live right now. That means people are
Oh
here.
snap! Oh yeah now.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hey.
Oh snap! Let's turn that down a little
Welcome
bit.
to the jungle.
Hey, do you see those
Those
captions?
captions?
That is so cool. That is super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Everyone breathe. Everyone breathe. Whew. Let's have a moment of silence. That's not silent. Somebody turn the dog on air conditioner now. You can't hear it right now.
It is
We got-
Houston still kind of summer.
Yeah, hey, I
Can't
just
go
have-
without that
Yeah, we
AC.
gotta have that because it was about to be like church up in there. She's about to make a fan.
Make my fan.
Make a fan out of the notes. Like, dude, you gotta read the notes.
Nah, I can't.
You hear all the crumbling and stuff.
Yeah, like I'm in church.
Nah. Everyone breathe. That's gonna
In
be.
through your nose, out
Okay.
through your mouth.
I like what you said earlier. You were like, whenever you have anxiety, you put your feet on the ground and feel the crease.
Yeah, when you're sitting in a chair,
Let me see.
you know, when you have anxiety, feeling that space between where your body ends and the
Yes.
chair or the ground
Yes.
meets.
Yes, that sounds like some meditation stuff.
Mindfulness. Yeah.
They teach you that in.
It's not working. It's just not working. I
They
can't.
teach
I
you
can.
how
Feel, I
to
can
do
literally
those
feel the
teachers.
crease, but I'm also feeling my
Some
toes.
of the
You know how much?
greatest. Some of the greatest speakers teach you to make sure you have a paper clip in your pocket so that you can touch it and feel it, and it keeps you from getting too lost in
Fidgeting
that
and-
moment.
A paperclip. So what
Something
about
to
gum
just
in my
get your
mouth?
hands.
That's not
No,
gonna
never
work.
put gum in your mouth.
We're not gonna have that on
Dang,
air,
man.
guys.
I can chew it real softly so nobody would know.
Yeah, no.
I'm pretty sure I
No,
can.
that's not possible.
Yes, I can. You won't even know.
It's time.
So are people with us right now, or are we just?
Oh, no.
coming
One
There
in?
were
one
two.
came in. We had two. One, I mean, they come in as they go. The good thing
Gotcha.
about it is
Welcome.
it is being recorded, and they're going to be able to stream it on the website www.therecoveringaddict.life. Hey guys, we must remember that at the end of this show, if you look at your notes, we all say together,
Oh, that's
remember,
improving.
you are not alone. So when y'all hear me say remember, we all say
You
you
hoes
are
is
not.
alone. I'm just
Hey,
kidding.
I'm glad there was nobody in, but they're gonna rewind it. Skirt.
What did she say?
For sure.
Miss Blunt, yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah, brother. Hey, hello. It looks like we're on the news coverage. Dun, 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 dun. Breaking news.
News.
Recovering. We kind of actually look like them. And Brandon is the weather guy.
Thank you for tuning in. 6 o'clock. Do you know where your child is?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Probably at some practice right now.
Okay, well, we got 1 minute. Okay, well, maybe on their watches it is 5 o'clock. It is 5 o'clock somewhere.
Somewhere.
It is. That does
Somewhere.
not mean it is happy hour. That
Yeah.
it is the
Not on
recovering
this show.
addict hour. Bing, bing, bing. Yes.
Welcome.
Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Everyone breathe. You are now tuned in to the recovering addict.
Uncomfortably real.
And extremely raw. This week's word is addiction, which means being abnormally tolerant to and dependent on something that is psychologically or physically habit forming.
Yeah, and this is the recovering addict. I am one of your hosts. My name is Richard, and I am a recovering addict. We appreciate you guys being here this Sunday. And We would like to start this show off by orientating you guys. Of course, you guys who are over 17 or 18 should know what an orientation is. It's like whenever you go into a job or something like that, they just tell you the policies, the perimeters of the show. Here's what you're going to do, here's what you're not going to do. And we're going to tell you here's what we're going to do. And here's what we're not going to do. I don't know if we're going to be able to mention that or not because it's going to be uncomfortably real and extremely raw. Now, I would like to introduce to you guys my brother from another mother, is what he likes to say, all the way in Dallas, Fort Worth. My bro, Brandon Frencham. Introduce yourself, bro.
Hey, how we doing, guys?
Yeah,
Glad to be with y'all here for the first show. And like you said, we're doing an orientation just to basically kind of set you up as to why we're here, what we're doing. We're very excited to have everyone here, and you know, the whole entire goal behind this show is not to reinvent the wheel, but we want to give a shift in perspective. This is not just for you, the recovering addict, but this is actually for your friends and your family that maybe misunderstand what this is like to go through the recovering process. And we want to remove some of that stigma. You know, addictions rear their heads in all kinds of forms. It's not just alcohol. It's not just opioids or heroin. It's not the person that's under the bridge that's barely making it and shooting up. This is a lot of people that just live a functional life, but still struggle with different forms of addiction. And so we're here to try to just make sure that that is an open, real, and raw conversation. And we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about all kinds of stories, our personal stories. We're going to have guests and discuss their stories. And that's going to be our journey. We're going to get into some of the psychology behind it, some of the science behind it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, and we are not doctors. We are not people that are going to give you professional direction, but we are going to walk through this journey with you. And, you know, we're going to give you resources. We're here to walk through this with you. We have a website that you guys can go to be able to look that up and to actually join us in that journey together. We want to hear from you. We thank you for tuning in with us today. And we hope to see you every Sunday. So I'm going to hand it off here to Zoe. You want to introduce yourself?
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. See, that is not how you present Mrs. Bonay. Okay, let me take that back from you guys. This is the recovering addict, and to my right, we have the talented, the beautiful, sitting here with all of her crystals, Mrs. Zoe Bonay.
Hi, everyone. I am Zoe Bonay, aka Miss Blunt, aka Miss Philosophical.
Is that how we're doing it?
You know, that's how we come in. We coming strong.
Okay.
Y'all gonna find that out later in the show in other episodes.
Of course.
I am here joining my amazing co-host.
Appreciate
it. Have some experience with having some loved ones that have gone through the battle of recovery. And you know, that's definitely what it is. It's not easy. It is a battle. It is a fight. You know, for your life, for what you want it to be. And, you know, like Brandon said, we are here as a support system for you guys. So we're going to bring you guys stories, tips, so much to help you guys, to give you guys some food for thought and some things that you can really take into multiple areas of your life, not just in recovery with anything, you know, mental health. We do a lot of things here, but thank you guys for tuning in.
I like the way you have given yourself some AKAs. That's kind of cool. I'm gonna pass it back over to Mr. Brandon. Mr. Brandon, do you have any AKAs that you want to present to the audience? Do you?
Y'all will learn very soon that I am the analytical type of the group here.
So, are you now?
Mr. Analysis. I tend to get into the depth of that. You know, that's just how my brain runs.
Sure is. Anything else? That's it? Because I got an AKA I would like to present to the people. Should I tell them?
For sure.
Oh, should I wait? Oh, let me give it to him right now.
Go
All
ahead,
right.
go ahead.
No, actually, my AKAs are cool. I think I have the cool ones. Like now, Mrs. Blunt, it's true and philosophical. I mean, can't nobody get down with that. Analytical. I'm telling you right now, bro. That's been you since the day that you were born.
For sure.
I have become Mr. Free Spirited. Yeah, that's me. I am free spirited. Yes. And those who know me back in the day, you'll know me as Mr. Rudeboy. Now,
Rude boy.
yeah, rude boy, rude boy. But whenever I came up with that AKA years ago when I was rapping, I wanted to give it an acronym. So whenever you call me Mr. Rude Boy, I'll call myself Mr. Rude Boy. That RUDE stands for respectful, understanding, and devoted to everyone. Okay, so that is Mr. Rude Boy. Now, let's get into a bit of the show. After you have met the host, Brandon, you kind of, you got on, what we're about. You got anything else you want to say about what we are about and what we are here for? And we're talking about the recovering addict, not just the show, but the recovering addict as a whole. Anything else you want to?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like that, obviously we want to bring our experience to the table. We've
Yeah.
been, Rich and I have been brothers for, 17 years.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to know Zoe as long,
Right.
Mrs. Blunt as long.
Mrs.
But, we've watched this up and down in our own lives and
Yeah.
watched what
Yeah.
that process has done. A little
Yeah.
background on my analysis or analyticalness. I spent hours and hours and hours in the studio with Rich when
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
working on music together, and I was always known as the guy in the room that was the analytical, the one that was breaking down whether or not something was
I
was ready to
could
go or
not
not. So
stand it.
yeah,
We called
I
him.
drove him
We,
crazy.
we called him Krispy Kreme. That's what we called him because he
Yeah.
had to have everything
So
so
crisp, huh?
crisp.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
The
saying?
numbers better
that
add up.
It was so annoying. I'm just
Yeah.
being honest. Now I can say
Yeah.
that. I couldn't
Yeah.
say that when we was in the studio, bro. You're
Yeah.
annoying me. Stop. Get out. Take a break. Come back. I can't do that right now. We're live. You know what I'm saying? So anywho.
But I demanded perfection. That was the way it works, So, but yeah,
Okay.
there's definitely, I think that the biggest thing that we're going to be able to do here is really show that organic walk that we've gone through to show
Right.
and talk about how
Right.
we have pulled ourselves out of the doldrums of this
Right.
Yeah.
process and
Right.
said, okay, hey, let's get real with ourselves. Let's get
Right.
real with our family. Let's get real with
Yeah.
our friends. Let's
Yeah.
not be afraid to talk about things that are shameful.
Right on.
We hide behind a lot of curtains in our life,
Right.
especially as we're fighting with different types of addictions. And so
Right.
we don't want to do that. We want to bring it out in the open, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. If
Right.
there's an issue, we're just going to talk about it, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And there's something about the strength in numbers. I think the fact that those of us that are here together and all of our listeners,
Right.
if you are just now coming into the revelation that you are dealing with some form of addiction, that can be a lot to handle. That can be a
Yeah,
lot
for
to
sure.
take in
Absolutely.
because
For
you're
sure.
like, wow, this is a part of my identity. Do I
Right.
really want to admit that about myself?
Right.
And so that's
Right.
kind of the thing that I really think is going to be a really exciting journey because, hey, we want to get you adapted to understanding and walk through that with you because we had to go through that adaptation together. We've done this together as brothers and sisters. And so we're all here to do that with you, especially if you're brand new to it, if you've been going through it a long, long time.
Yeah.
And hopefully eventually we'll be hearing from some of our listeners and different people we'll bring on the show that can kind of
Right.
share their perspective and journey through it as well. So that's what
So-
I'm looking forward to.
And I just want to continue to mention a couple of things. First off, this is the orientation show, guys. So we are not going to get deep into any stories right now. We're just going to give you the overview of this show. Okay. Second off, We are here as a support system. Our agenda, our goal, our mission is to be somewhat like Alcoholic Anonymous, which I have been to, Narcotic Anonymous, which I have been to, and they are support systems within the community. So that is what our goal is. When you say the recovering addict, just know that is what our purpose is to support addicts in recovery, and people who are surrounded by addiction, or people who just want to get a knowledge about it, people who just want to get an understanding about what it has done to the world and what it is currently doing to the world. I think that brings us back into our next part. The overview of addiction is the meat of the show. We wanted to give you guys just some numbers, basically numbers of what addiction is currently doing in the world. So I've done some research for you guys, okay? And you can go look this stuff up. We'll put our sources down in the actual comments, so you can go look for yourself. But go through this with me, guys, and see how this makes you feel, guys. The first one is alcohol, okay? So what I've researched, okay, or Australian researchers, they did a study and they found that 300 million people worldwide are dependent on alcohol. Okay, that is over 3% of the world. Think about that for a second. Which means, how many people do we have in America? I don't know, 270 million, anywhere between 250 to 400 million. So, which means that would be everybody in America that is addicted to alcohol. Think about it like that. That many people are addicted to alcohol. That means somebody that's right next to you, you may know her, may not. They may be hitting, we're Sunday Fun Day in Houston right now. So they may be,
the shots, the bottles, the sections.
Oh goodness, yeah, buddy. Yeah, watch out for the people that buy the bottles. I was one. Watch out for those people, okay?
They be like, take this shot, take this. You be like, no. They be like, oh, you ain't ready.
Worldwide, every year, okay, 5.3%. It causes 5.3% of deaths. Okay, which means 1 out of every 20 people who die worldwide dies from alcohol, whether it's abuse, whether it is a car accident or something like that. Keep that in mind. That's just alcohol. Anything you want to say about that, Brandon?
No, go ahead. Just keep going. I think
okay.
So we all know 20 people at least.
Right.
So that's crazy. That definitely makes it personal, because
for sure,
at least every family has 20 people. Family, friends. It's 1 in every 20 people.
Think about that barbecue where that uncle comes up in there. Yeah,
with
brother.
The jack.
Yeah, brother. Hey, now what's up, nephew? What's going on, baby?
And when they start calling you nephew, you already know.
He might be the one. He might be the one, man. That we need to tell him, listen, you need to go watch The Recovering Addict right now. Stop everything. It's 5 o'clock. All right, so let's get to the next one. And this one right here is a tough one, because I'm pretty sure we know someone who is addicted to opioids. Now check this out. About 15 million people are dependent on opioids or pain relievers. Let me give you some examples of pain relievers. Oxycontin or Percocet. Hey, Molly, Percocet. Hey, hold on. All right, let me get back to hydrocodone, Vicodin, morphine, codeine.
Can I say something about that?
Please.
A lot of those things that were listed are prescribed by doctors. Let's really discuss that, because a lot of people get injured in many ways. Maybe it's at work, maybe it's a car accident, maybe you were just out too drunk, you fail and hurt yourself, and you got prescribed this. And it's interesting because, you can find this on the street, but a lot of times people are getting this from a doctor.
All the good shit too.
And because it's coming from a doctor, right? people don't really see it as a problem until they're in the belly of the beast, and all of a sudden, you know, they're trying to find different doctors to write prescriptions and things, and it's a slippery slope. So I just wanted to point that out. A lot of this is prescribed by your doctor.
Let me show you how much of a epidemic it is, if that's the word. Over 100 Americans die every day from opioid overdose.
That's a lot.
Every day.
Yeah.
That's just in America.
Yep.
And
you know,
another thing,
going into what you were saying there, Zoe, about the doctors prescribing it. You know, obviously, I'm not here to knock a doctor's prescription if he feels like that's what it is, but that it needs to be done. But you know, if no doctor can size someone up in an office in a few minutes and say, okay, this person has addictive personality or not. You know, it's on each individual person to have that self-control. And a lot of times they just don't have the strength to do it, especially if there's other factors involved in their life that are causing them to feel like, hey, this is going to make me feel better right now. You know, I've got it in my hand. I've got that bottle right here in front of me. And the last time I took it, it felt like I was much better, you know, and so then it becomes this, you know, self-medication. And so it is definitely probably the most slippery slope, especially because there's a justification in their minds.
Yeah.
You know, well, my doctor gave it to me, and my name's on that bottle, so it's okay. You know, and you know, I've heard a lot of military guys that have been prescribed a lot of stuff like this because they've gone through PTSD and a lot of other stuff. You know, they've had injuries and stuff, and you know, a lot of them. You know, you got to think about it. These guys they went through all kinds of self-discipline training. Boot camp, and their whole lives have been based around discipline.
Right.
And so when you think about those kind of minded people that have a lot of self-control in other areas of their life, they can actually fall prey to this kind of thing. You know, it lets you know no one is immune to falling prey to something like that. And it's not because they're just a strung out addict. It's because you know, life's hardships can definitely make it hard to say no. You know, I remember seeing it in a movie where this woman was working with a guy that was going through recovery because he was trying to learn how to walk again, and he had an injury in the military in combat. And one of the things she said to him was, will you do me a favor and wait 2 minutes before you take that medicine? And he's like, why? She said, because I want you to prove it to yourself that you have control and that doesn't have control over you. And so I was like, wow, that was pretty amazing. You know, I thought about it, I was like, wow, you know, that's really powerful because the question is, if you are taking medicine and you do need it, I mean, I've been in situations where I've had prescriptions of opioids due to a lot of different medical conditions over the years. And it did really help me. You know, but I have definitely fallen prey to taking too much, you know, especially in the times of struggle and hardship in my life. And so, you know, everybody can fall prey to that. And we have to constantly keep ourselves in check. And of course, that's part of what it means to be in the mindset of recovery.
So check this out.
A healthy mind, you know.
Check this out. So I'm pretty sure most people that take these opioids, or I don't want to say most, okay? So I believe half people or some that take opioids, they don't know that each opioid pill that they are taking has heroin in it. Okay, think about that right now. Now that would be our next. It is based heroin. Okay, so and let's look at heroin. Let's look at what heroin has done to the world.
Well,
so go ahead.
Before we get diving deeper, Brandon made a really good point that I do want to reinstate for our listeners.
Okay.
Like he said about, you know, soldiers, and thank you guys for what you are doing for us here.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
They are very disciplined. And, you know, the average person would not assume that a person like that would become an addict. So I did want to bring that up because there is no certain type of person that can become an addict, because I think in the mindset of someone that has never been around an addict, they kind of have an image of what an addict is.
Right.
Anyone can be an addict. It can be a professor, it could be a doctor,
Right.
it could be that person that's on the corner asking you for money because they fell on hard times. It could be anyone. So there is no set type of personality or set, lifestyle or person that falls victim to this. Like, it could be anyone. And I do want to just point that out because that was important.
Well, let me elaborate on that. And what I've noticed coming out when it comes to the recovering addict, this is like a coming out party for me. A lot of people did not know that I have been struggling with addiction for, 37 now, almost close to about 14, 15 years. A lot of people didn't know that. Now, when you look at me from the out, I mean, hey, I got my muscles and I look, clean cut and stuff like that. But coming out with the recovering addict, posted it and stuff, I have been getting, people like, man, I didn't never know. I never know. How could, you never resembled anyone that was an addict. So think of it like that. If Richard, somebody that looks like me or somebody, that is very close to you, that does not show signs of it from the surface, they could be struggling right now with addiction.
Yeah.
So take that in mind.
Go into that too, just to mention, guys, this, as we said, we're setting this episode up to talk about what we will be talking about in the future, so we don't want to go too far into that. But yes, this is actually also, this show is designed for families to tune in.
Absolutely.
To really get an idea about why has my family member or my friend gone through this. I give you one story. One of my best friends, his name is Jebra Kabani. He was a professional, semi-professional surfer. He was also a semi-professional flamethrower. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but they do like all kinds of tricks, kind of like they do in the shows and stuff with the flamethrowing and all that. And had 2 kids, wife, amazing guy. He had gone to Bible college. He was one of those kind of guys who was just so much fun to be around. One of my best friends. A couple years ago, I lost him. He hung himself.
Whoa.
And and he really struggled with addiction, and he struggled with bipolar disorder,
mental health. I was just about to say.
It was one of those kind of things where I never guessed that would be something that would happen. And 6 months apart from that, I lost another friend. He killed himself as well. And so it's just this thing can be something that you don't realize the secret behind the door struggle of emotion that happens with people. And obviously that is something that we want to address as well. And this is why it's extremely raw and real, because those are things that are kind of tough to talk about.
Yeah, they are.
It's probably going to be some moments where I'm going to be breaking down on the show. But
so we don't want to leave out anyone. Okay, we don't want to leave out anyone in regards to addiction. Okay, because there are other types of addiction besides substance. Okay, if we go down the list here, you got. Don't say it too loud, Rich. Sex addiction, gambling.
Been me in the past, for sure.
Okay.
I'm just telling you.
Food addiction. Hey, I thought this was pretty cool. Kids, glue. For you housewives, or some of you not housewives, shopping. Exercise can be an addiction. That's what they say. I'm just,
just like working.
Tanning could be an addiction.
Yeah.
I like these last 3 though. Smartphones.
Check.
Social media.
Double check.
Definitely.
Plastic surgery.
Yep.
That's
That's
if any of that fits you, then hey, maybe the recovering addict can give you a few tips on how to manage it. Once again, remember,
work addiction. Work addiction is another one that we often miss.
Yep. Yeah. Workaholic is what they call it.
Yeah.
We are not counselors, guys. We're not counselors. We're not doctors. Okay.
Mhm.
We are studiers. We study addiction. We study mental health. We study mental health. Okay. And we got to understand in regards to mental health that and addiction that they run adjacent with each other,
Yes.
side by side. Okay. Most of the time you'll find that someone that has an addiction is now struggling with mental health because of what that addiction has done. Loose screws, chemical imbalances, or someone that was first struggling with mental health is now struggling with addiction because they were prescribed some pills to help them deal with that addiction. Okay, so they run adjacent to each other. That's what we want to make sure that we present to you guys on this particular show. Now, here's some points in regards to mental health. There is a study that shows 970 million people worldwide have a mental health disorder.
Wow.
Almost 1 billion people. There are 7 billion people living on this planet, and almost 1 billion people have a mental health disorder. 264 million people struggle with depression. 284 million people struggle with anxiety. Raise your hand if you're one of them. 46 million people struggle with bipolarness. Is that the word?
Bipolar disorder.
Bipolar disorder. 16 million people eating disorder. 20 million people schizophrenia. Okay. So think about that. Just think about that and understand that our shows, as we move forward every Sunday at 5 o'clock, we are going to address addiction and mental health because we understand how important it is to put them both in a pot together and deliver that food to you. Okay.
I just want to share. I just want to share one thing. I used to have a friend of mine that I've lost touch with her, but she came from a very, very, very wealthy family, and we used to do all kinds of drugs together. And back then, I remember asking her. I said, why? What is your reason for why you do what you do? And she was, she had anorexia. One of her best friends, the girl I was dating, had bulimia, and they had a major coke addiction. They had all kinds of stuff, and I thought, there's nothing wrong with their life though. Their life seemed like it was perfect. They had everything they needed, and she told me, she said, Brandon, she goes, honestly, we are bored and we create drama in our life. And she was, that's something
boredom.
I found to learn about.
Boredom?
Yeah, she was, boredom. And
It's a reason.
Man,
and
you're
you
right.
wouldn't think about that, but it's when somebody has everything, like the girl that I was dating, she would go, she told me, she goes, we don't even celebrate Christmas in our family. We leave town because we have everything we want. So we go somewhere to do something different. So it's like, there's different reasons why our brain go try to find a reason to go do something, but it's weird when you get into boredom. You actually go find reasons to create drama. So everybody has their reasons, and that is a disorder in itself, a mental disorder. It's just, where is your contentment in life? Are you settled? Are you at peace in your life? And obviously that people find those things in different ways. But a lot of the time there's a desire to find a coping in order to get to that place. And we fill it with all these different things. And a lot of the time we turn to substances for that when we really should be looking for that mental peace and that joy and that and working towards another direction as opposed to finding a way to fill that. So, those are things we'll get into as well.
Yeah, we're going to get into all of that and much more. I'm looking through this list right now, guys. Did you see the list that Brandon sent in regards to the subjects? And
I did, and one of my favorite subjects. We have so much to discuss with you guys. You definitely want to stay tuned in because
what is your
you have
favorite?
So much more. My favorite is purpose over pressure. That is a big one
Yeah.
because, you know, in life we get pressure from so many angles, so many areas. We're applying pressure onto ourselves that do not exist. And we get so caught up in the pressure, we lose the purpose. And then we're in the purpose, and then now we're applying pressure. And then life is all about balance. And that is definitely something that we're going to discuss continuously. And even once you have accomplished things, you still have to do balance. You know, it's not a one and done thing. Just like recovery isn't a one and done thing. It's every day, every step matters.
Man, my life during my full hard struggle with addiction, I can recall how my life was so unbalanced. My sleep was unbalanced. My eating was unbalanced. My work life, my life with being a single father, everything that I would wake up to as I was going strong in my addiction was unbalanced. And moving forward with recovery, I have truly found balance in it. It is. I there was a point where I didn't think it existed. You know, when I'm laying in that bed and it is 9 o'clock in the morning and I'm trying to cover the blinds because the sun is coming in. I have not slept for 2 or 3 days. It is very painful to, you know, understand that I've just lost it all. You know what I'm saying? So, or losing it all. So balance is, I mean, we need to make that a subject, you know, just balance itself. But I guess purpose over pressure is going to capture that. Let me go through a few. Orientation episode is this one. Foundations of addiction, that will be the next one. Science behind the substance, that is the third one. I like this one right here, Brandon. Mind control. Mind control, to me, I mean, it's enough said. Okay, mind control is enough said. You got any, Brandon, that you want to touch on?
Well, I definitely like shedding the shame. I think this is probably going to be one of the big ones on shifting perspective. I want to work on shedding the shame, not just for the addict himself or herself, but also shedding the shame for the family's perspective. You know, our support system is our friends and our family. And the last thing we need to do is shut off someone that is walking through that process of recovery. We got to understand what they're going through. A lot of times there's erratic behavior from someone that goes through recovery, even if they're in that process. You don't want to shut your family out, but a lot of the time, those that don't understand addiction are going to do that because they don't understand why they have that shame. Where is that coming from? And a lot of times when you're going through recovery, you fall into shame because you know, you have a self-awareness of what you're going through, and you tend to retract from family. You tend to go into your own little bubble, and that's something that we don't want to do. We want to shed that shame. We want to be able to get out of our comfort zone and say, hey, friend, family, I need your support. And the family is not going to get there unless they can get a little bit of knowledge as to why there's this erratic behavior. What is it doing to your brain? What is it causing you to act out in the way that you're doing? You know, the walls, one of the other episodes is walls down, wise up. So in other words, it's taking those walls down and approaching these things with wisdom. You know, talking about the functional addict, people that are even successful. You know, flipping the facts for friends and family is another episode. So this is definitely aimed towards family.
Lazy thinking is losing the battle.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
A good one. Quick keeping score. Motivate without the madness. Did we mention clean but still creative? Hey, that's to all you. That's to all you artists out there. All you artists out there. I mean, that was one where think that you need a substance to actually create something.
To be dope, you need a little shot of something.
Oh, guys, listen. This is what we're going to do. We're going to leave you guys with that. Okay, this is the orientation episode. We appreciate y'all. You can reach us.
Absolutely.
You can reach us on Facebook, Instagram, and you can stream us on YouTube. All of them. You can reach us by @the Recovering Addict Life Okay. And also go check out the website. Please check out the website and give us your feedback about it. That is www.therecoveringaddict.life. We appreciate you guys for joining us today.
Thank you.
And please, guys, remember, you are not alone.
Absolutely. And by the way, too, guys, I just want to add one more thing, that in the future episodes, we will be talking about some things that may extend into multiple episodes on the same topic. So we may extend those out, and you might be listening to a continued episode. We do expect some of the episodes will run a little bit longer, especially for personal testimonies and things like that. So we hope that you guys can definitely follow that, and we will be uploading everything to the website so that if you do miss us at the live time, you can actually listen to those that are already on the website as well. So,
all right,
thank you so much.
All right, brother. All right, bro. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, y'all have a great night, and we'll see you next week.